Hello, hello everyone. Am I audible? Hello Amir.
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Hello, can you just tell me if I'm audible? Just looking at your chats. Okay, great. Hello, good afternoon, Mohammed. So I guess audio is better than yesterday. Okay. So like today we'll be like continuing what we left off yesterday. So basically we did till arrays, I guess. So I gave you homework remaining methods of array and string and other two questions. So today we have in list what are objects, then some comparison operators and some maybe some tricks for you, and then we'll move on to functions, then we'll go to conditionals, if else if, switch case, then we'll go to loops for while, do while, and then maybe we'll close on that condition, and then there is ternary operator also, and then maybe we'll close on that note, and from tomorrow we'll dive into object oriented programming in JavaScript. I am trying to keep today's session short, because any which ways after when we dive into object oriented programming, everything like all the advanced functions where you can use, that will be covered in that session. Okay, DOM in JavaScript. Chetan, I have a separate session for DOM, which will be like tomorrow. There will be object oriented programming, and then from Monday we'll fully focus on DOM manipulation. So I have a separate day, I have kept it specifically to focus on the DOM part. So can I start from today, day one? Yeah, you can just revisit the previous videos. Everything is on our Let's Upgrade YouTube channel. Hello everyone. We'll just wait for like 1-2 minutes more and then we'll begin. I'll just get the setup ready till then. Yeah, map, reduce, filter, everything will be taught. So I'm not. What is the use of trim? Trim actually eliminates the extra space from the string. I'll just write down whatever we are going to learn today. Just a minute, guys. Yep. So this is day one. This is day two. And now we are on. Now we are on day three. Yep. So as usual, we will have our HTML. Just let me close the other things. Okay, can you please explain string once again? Manthan, actually I have already explained string in previous session. You can just visit those, and maybe if time permits. Yeah, I'll zoom just a minute, guys. Let me just have the setup ready. So many people, okay, I'll just type something, and many people were asking me how to just, how to just zoom the text and not the whole editor part. So the trick to that is you just have to go to this icon in the left bottom and open your settings, and then search something called as mouse wheel. Now there is mouse wheel. Then you have to enable this setting where it is saying that editor mouse will zoom, and then it will enable the zooming feature for you. Okay. Just hold on your doubts from yesterday's session. Like today, after we are done with all the concepts, then we'll come back to those doubts. So I'm just opening a boilerplate which comes by shift and tab, shift and exclamation mark, and then the tab. So I'll write day 3, and then we have our h2 tags. What all I have to cover? I'll just write down so I don't forget. Objects, basics. Today we'll just study basics of objects and functions because we are going to deep dive into those later. Functions also I will teach basics right now. Then we have comparison and logical operators. Then what else we have? So then we have conditional statements. Will you teach validation with regular expression? Maybe. Like this all depends. Like if I don't like, the more I'm focusing on the chat, every time the more the session gets extended. So just hold on to your doubts till the end of the session or between when I ask you all the doubts. After conditional statements, in conditional statements we will be having if else, and if else if and if, switch case, and ternary statements, and then we have our loops. So just let me have another s2 tag, and then we have loops. Okay, bad. Then we have loops. I guess my skin is pretty visible on this YouTube. Yep. So these are the main agenda for today. I guess that's all on my list today. Yep. Yep. Okay, yeah. And before that, I'll take just 10 minutes to, I just went through your comments yesterday and I found some doubts which were not clear to you. One of them was mm, difference between the number converter and the parseInt type conversion. So this was one major question I was seeing in yesterday's chat when I was revisiting it later. So I'll just open this up in live server. Just let me open a Chrome and have one window here. Just pull it up here. Yep. So just let me open this in live server. Okay, it went there. This is so this window. Yep. So you can just, like, if you want to split your windows into half, and then you have to just hold on the window and just drag it to the right corner, and then you can select from the remaining windows. Then we have this here. Just okay, I have to enable one setting by default, that is word wrap, which will enable the text on next line. Word wrap on. Yep. So yep. So guys, can we go ahead? Okay, I need to zoom my Chrome also. So is everything visible right now? Just let me have my console also up. The basic setup. Yep, this is the console. Okay, it's got. So is this font visible? Yep. Shortcut Alt plus Z. Yep, that is correct. But I wanted to enable it by default, so I went into settings. Favicon not found. You can just skip those errors. How to open console? You can just right click on your web page and go on inspect element. That will open your developer tools, and then you can just switch to the console tab. Convert to decimal, there is parse float, similar to parseInt. So just I'll cover this thing very quickly. So as usual, we'll have our scripts folders for today, and then within, okay, where did this, and then in that script folder we will have, okay, did I mess up something? Nope. And in this we will have revision.js. Just link it to the end. Script tag src is equal to, so as always we'll test our script is if it's working or not. Yep, it's working. So guys, I don't teach AI, buddy. How to get HTML snippet I have already explained in previous sessions, so just visit day 1, day 2 lectures. I have already repeated it 2-3 times. So we'll go ahead with today's session. So yeah, so first thing I wanted to explain is, before going ahead, I have written the spelling right. Difference between the number type conversion and parseInt. Now to explain the theory before we go ahead with the coding part, what number does is, it is a very strict type of conversion. It will convert the whole value you pass into a number. It will try to convert it into number. And what parseInt does is, it will just extract the number part from the beginning till the time it is getting the number, and once it receives text it will stop working. So it will just return the number part, but in number it will try to convert the whole part, and if it's not able to convert it will give you an n. So is the theory of this, the difference between this number and parseInt, clear? Shortcut for boilerplate is shift plus exclamation mark, and then you have to just hit tab. Is this theory clear, guys? I'll just write an example. Let str num is equal to, I am giving an 1 2 3 4. I'll just give one character here to show you hello. Now we have already seen the numbers conversion in our data types part, where in type conversion I just want to explain this difference, so I am just using this one variable only. And now we will write console, okay, yeah, console.log number and strnum. Now what you will say is, you have got nan. So now if I do this and skip, okay, just let me console.log the initial variable also, strnum. Okay, let's do it in a better way. I'll use backticks. And then the dollar symbol and type strnum. Then original value is 1 2 3 4, and its type is dollar type of, okay, type of strnum. Now you can see the original value of 1 2 3 is 1 2 3 4, and its type is string, which is pretty much clear here. So now when I do console.number of strnum, you can see I get a number in a number format which is highlighted in a different color. And then now if I go and try, if I am, okay, just let me remove this. And if I am writing some statement here like hello, now you will see that it is not able to convert the whole variable into a number because it has come across a character. So it does a strict type of conversion. And so now we'll see another thing also. Console.log parseInt, and then I am passing strnum. So now just watch guys, I have kept the same thing here. If you want to enable the both of them, you will see the difference. Now you can see that this number conversion has given us not a number, but parseInt, what it has done is it has started collecting the numbers from the beginning 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here it has come across a h character which is not a number, so it has skipped, it has stopped collecting and it has eliminated these things and converted this remaining part into a number. What is strict JS? I'll come to that in upcoming sessions. Usually what you do is you just use strict up at the top to enable the modern JavaScript features. It is by default enabled in our object oriented programming part, but to enable it globally, usually developers put use strict at the top of your script. So I'll explain you why it's done, how it's done later on. So I guess number and parseInt, the difference is clear. Guys, can you just put a yes, no, something so I can move ahead? Okay, so I got a question. What if I put a string between a number? So I am just putting string between a number. It will just collect 1 and 2 because here it has come across a string. So if you see the output, it is just 1 and 2. It has stopped collecting as I said. It will skip. What if you write numbers after hello, then it will not return it. Okay, let's check. No, it is not going to return. It will return some null or undefined. It is again nan. So it has skipped at the start only. So as soon as it comes across a character, it will stop collecting the values. I guess this is clear. Okay, so I'll just go ahead. You can just experiment with it. I'll just write hello here. Okay, so another thing is another way to convert a string to a number. So now just have, let us have, okay, just let me scroll up. So let us have two variables. Let 1 is equal to 1 and let 2 is equal to 2. Okay, so now if I do console.log and if I add these two things, what is the output? Can you just tell me the output? Can you just tell me the output? Okay, so yep, it's 3. But what if I have, just a minute guys, yes, my audio, everything is fine guys. Just a minute. Okay, so yep, so like what if I just make them strings right here? Like suppose you are getting some output from the prompt or as a text. So now what the output it becomes is 1 and 2, right? Like is this clear why this is 1 and 2? Okay, so now just focus here how you can convert a string into a number without using parseInt or without using a number, using something we learned yesterday, which is called as unary operator. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a plus here and put a plus here. So now what it has done is it has converted this variable, which is a string, into a number. So now the value will become 3. Is this part clear? Like this is a shorthand which you can use. Is this clear, guys? This unary operator. Okay, just let me go back. Okay, okay. So this revision part I'll just hold on to right now, and then we'll begin with current today's function. Okay, today we have objects. First we'll go to objects.js, and then I'll have a copy of this code and just paste it below. I'll comment this code, then I'll rename it to objects.js, and the usual console.log. So far everything is clear, right? Okay, so yep, explain again. I'll just we'll maybe revise at the end of this session. So how to define an object? You can just give okay, let's make an object called as person. Okay, so how to define an object? So syntax of object is just define a variable, and for example let name is equal to, and start writing in this. Okay, this will not go, and you can just, it is a key value pair, like the first key is called as key, and then you have the value. Okay, I'll just make it simpler. Then there is value. Now it depends on the value what it is. Like if it's a string, you have to enclose in quotes. If it's a number, you can put it in number. Million, how you run code simultaneously. That there is something called as live server. It is an extension of VS Code, which lets you run. Yep, similar to dictionary in Python. Okay, so like if I am defining a empty object, I can just define an empty object right like this, and then I'll just console.log person. Now you can see that empty object is here. Okay, now how to write the values inside this? For example, we are having the name as, what to give, professor. Then you have to have skills. What you can give a skill to the professor is you can just write mm, I'm just writing something, heist planning something. What are his goals? To rob. Okay, now we are having string. Mm, something will make it team count. So how many team members does he have? We have Rio, Tokyo, Berlin, Helsinki. Okay, I'll just assume a number and put something as 8. So yep, and now can fly, the usual. This is just to make you understand that how we can write all types of variables right here, and then mm, For example, what else can I write? Okay, I'll just turn it into an array, and I will mention. So you, as you are seeing, I can have multiple type of data types inside the object assigned to various keys. So I can just write planning. What else is good at is mind games, I guess. Yep. So now we have an object called as a person whose name is professor, whose skills is an another array here, which is planning mind games, and then you have team count of 8, and can fly property is false. How to extract a single element? It is very simple. So it's like a dot operator. I am just going into console.log. Now there are two ways how you can do this. Now as I said, we are just going to look at basics on object. So okay, so what was our person dot? Now when I press the dot key, you can see all the objects are available to me here. And if you are seeing it properly in this VS Code pop-up, you can see that the can fly type is boolean. So it has automatically recognized that we defined it as a boolean, and it is showing us that name is a string, skills is a array of array of strings, and team count is a number. So if I want to get the name of the person, so I'm just writing person dot name, and I'm saving it. So now you can see I have this thing. So how you can do this? What cancel means is just I just kept it as a, what you say, that just a property just to show you. Now how you can fetch the object properties is this one way, and another way is console.log. If I'm writing person and I am writing the key inside this, so now it has the same, it gives me the same options. Now this is square brackets, and inside that we have to pass the key. Okay, so now you have that thing here. So there is one function, if you want to uh, see that I can do is, just let me try console.log. Okay, just do it like this. For key in obj, just let us see if this works. I okay. Now just don't get scared what I'm writing. It has okay, what's up. So I'll come to this how it's done later. I just wanted to show you that we can iterate on an object. Okay, does JavaScript throw syntax error because you have put comma after can fly? No, 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 it does not. It does not give error. You can just continue using this. Like, this is a better practice to even put comma after your last property. So you can just anytime add new properties. So this was all the basics required for now for objects. We'll have a better discussion and a deep dive on this objects when we go to object oriented programming. So for now, this is just it to objects. Now we'll come to functions. Okay, functions, and then I'll have the same thing. Now how to define a function? I'll write console.log and I'll write functions. So now there are two, three ways. Object says easy, yep. Now there are two, three ways, and there's a modern way of writing functions. So we'll go to modern way later. So how to write functions is you can just put it as function. The okay, you want the syntax, then I can give the syntax also. The syntax is the syntax would be the function keyword name of function, then parentheses, then you have parameters if any, and then your body of the function begins, and you can just write code here. So now we'll see with an example what I did just above. And now can just go and write function hello, and I'll just write console.log hello. Now I am saving this, but as you can see nothing is printed here because we have just defined the function and we have not called this function. So there is function declaration is one part, and then you have to call that function wherever required. So what you can learn from this, like there's some block of code which is repeatedly required in your programming, like it can be used for like multiple parts. So repetitively coding that same block of code every time for each and every part becomes a mess. So you can just get it together in a function, and you can just call this function later on. So if I am calling hello here, so it will just log me hello right here. If I have to make it hello from a function, so now you can see it is hello from a function. So this is how you can just initialize and call a function. Another thing is just have another thing. So I am now what I'll do is I'll assign this function to a variable. So how you can do is I will just write the same name, let hello no, okay, let greet is equal to function. Now observe that I am not using this name again here because I have already assigned it to this variable. Now I'll just put the parentheses which will tell that create a function object, and then inside this thing I'll write console.log I am a function assigned to a variable. Now the same thing I'll just go and call greet here. Now you can see that the same we have written the same thing, but here we have declared the function, and then we have used a variable to store the function and call that variable. Async and everything, don't focus on that right now, we'll go on to it later. So I'll just keep this code together. So now another thing is how you can pass parameters. For example, I am writing so we are having this same, I am having a function called as function, okay, let welcome is equal to function which takes a parameter called name, and it will write console.log and we will write hello, and then we'll put the name. Now if I go and call welcome right here, you will see that it has returned me undefined, because inside the parameter it is requiring a name and we have not given anything as an argument inside this function. So just keep your doubts till the end. I'll just cover them regarding this. Arrow function I'll explain it later, Karthik Ban, because everyone needs to understand how it's done. So now as soon as I put something inside here, like I am putting my name, so it is giving me hello Prasad in the console, because it has passed this variable in place of this name part, and then from here it has been assigned to this place. If there are multiple function, which function will get called, like whatever function you call, like this, like I have called all these three functions, so all these three functions are getting called. So whatever function you call, you can call it. And this is one thing. And suppose, for example, you saw that when I was not giving any name, it was showing me undefined. So how you can do this, like how you can assign default values to a parameter. So you have to just go and write hello stranger. Okay, sorry, I just to just write stranger. So now you see that even if I'm not given anything inside the parameter, it has by default given this value as stranger. But when I give here my name, it will replace that default value with the value I pass. So now one more thing is, as I saw in the chat, the return function. Yeah, I'll just come to that. Now when you have a function, it can also return something which you can store in a variable. Now like we are console logging, we are like directly printing, but while programming you would like to store, like you would like to compute something inside a function and return that variable to store inside a variable, and then use that variable somewhere else. So how you can do is, I'll just write sum. Okay, let sum is equal to function. And now what this function without the function name is called as an anonymous function. When you do not declare a function with its name and just use this function and parenthesis and this format, it is also known as anonymous function. So I'll have to just pass two things, num1, number lock, num1 by default it should be 0 if there is no entry, and num2 by default it should also be 0 if there is no entry. Now then I have to declare a variable inside it. Let add is equal to, okay, I'll just rename the variable for better readability, addition. Let sum is equal to num1 plus num2. So now if you'll see, what will happen is whenever a number will come inside this as an argument, it will get added to this sum variable. First this thing will be computed and the sum will be stored in this. And now I don't want to print directly. I have I'll store it in a different variable. Let result is equal to addition, and now it is asking me, if you see, it is asking me as a number. So I'll just put 5 and 6, and then I have not written the return statement yet, so hold on, I'm just explaining what it does. Console dot log, and then I'll write result. Now you can see that by default a function returns undefined value, like it is equal to nothing. So to return a value from a function, like we have computed the value inside this function and stored inside a variable called sum. So now I want to return this value outside of this function and store it in a variable called as result. So for that we can use a keyword known as return, and then I can put the sum variable which I have to return. Now what this will do is, after coming to this step, it will break out from the uh, function and it will return that value outside of the function. Now it is stored in result, and now if I do hit save, you can see that the addition has done is working fine. So now I can just put 10 and 6 and just hit save, it will be automatically added here. So is this, now what if I do with a string? So now that same thing we can use our trick. We can just append it with a plus plus to convert the whole thing into a number. Now even if you put a string, or even if I put some boolean value, it will still work as a number because we have literally converted any input we get in place our parameter to a number. So is this part clear, guys? Mega, how to print on this web page? I am not currently going on this. That will come when we deal with the web page. Currently just focus on this scripting part and console part. Is this clear, guys? Okay, so you want me to return? Okay. Explain return again. Just a minute, guys. Okay. So what return does is, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. If any doubts, just let me check. One doubts, explain return. What is if you put random text with number for addition? So yep, how this converts. I'll explain, like I have already told how it is happening. So you just go back in the video and you'll see how it works. Defining, what was that modern way of creating function, that there is modern ways, there is a notation, a fat arrow notation. I don't want to like tell you. If you want to see it, it is like something mm, called as add. And okay, now this is, if you want to define a function, then that is add, and then you can just write like this and then have your statements right here. I don't want to go into that right now. That is a one line function. I'll explain it later when we go into details of function and objects. Yep, enjoy it as correctly explained. So okay, so I'll quickly explain the return statement again. I'll just cut this. So just focus on the screen right now, guys. Just stop the chat for a minute. Okay, I'll do all the executions. I'll do all the executions with string, with booleans. Everything will be taken care by this. And okay, I'll just remove this also to make it clear for you guys. So we have just 5 more minutes, then I have to end with the function part. So just let me explain and just focus. Define one function inside another function. As I said, Saroj, just let me clear out the basics right now. We are going to deal with everything. So for that, you need to understand what happens and how this works. So just keep on that advanced topics like function inside a function and everything for later part. So what I did here was, okay, I'll just go from the start. This was how we define a function. Now what is a function? Is a block of code which you can use repeatedly inside your coding. Like a particular thing is being repeated again inside your code, you can make a function of that and just call it. Now how to define function is, just write the function keyword, write the name of the function, a parenthesis, and the body of the function. And how to call a function is using that function name and this parenthesis. Now this is called, so this is, we have called a named function. And now anonymous function, if you want to call, then it's like a function. Now I am writing like, this is called as anonymous function. I'll write console.log. Okay, what did I miss? Function. Okay, so this part, like when you are not, for example, okay, I wrote it somewhere. Yep, when you are writing the name of the function, that you are naming that function, but when you are not naming that function, it becomes anonymous. Like you guys have your names, but how you call a stranger, who, like a person whom you don't know, what do you call him? You call him stranger, or as you know, anonymous. You define him as anonymous. So same way, whatever functions which don't have a name defined, those can be called as anonymous function. Like we have defined a greet as a variable, but as you can see inside it, this function is not having a name. So it can be called as anonymous function, which is defined inside and stored inside this variable. I guess that clears your doubt. And then when we come to this welcome part, this is just I have shown you what you can, how you can pass a parameter, and the default value is if that parameter is not supplied by the user. And now coming to the addition block. So now what we have done here is I have created a function called as addition, which will take two numbers as of now. And then what I am doing is inside a sum variable I am adding those two numbers, and I have nothing. Like usually what used to do was console log inside the function, so it was usually printing directly to the console. And then, but now like when you code, you don't want to, like it's a bad habit to print directly from a function your values. Like you can do debugging inside your function using console logs and everything, but printing the value inside the function is not a good practice, because suppose you are a team of some developers, you have written this code for your program and you are returning some value, but you want to give the same code to someone else. So it is a better option to return a value from this function and then use that value somewhere. So now by default a function returns undefined. So like for example, you can see when I've saved this, I'm not returning inside anything inside from the function. So it is telling that it's undefined. For example, even if I do console.log, and I am writing something called as console. Now if you observe closely, when I hit enter, it gives me the value, but it also returns undefined. I guess this is clear. Like this is a function which prints the value and returns undefined. So like that we don't have any return value given here, but if I want to use that value which is calculated inside this function somewhere out of this function, I have to use the keyword called as return, and then I have to see which value I have to return. So it is like I have to return the sum. Okay, where am I writing? So I have to return the variable sum outside of this function. So now what it will do is when I am asking something to like addition to compute and store in the result, what will it will do is it will just run this function, and it will pass 10, which will go in num1. It will pass true, that will go in num2. It will come to the next line, it will calculate the total, it will store it in sum, and it will return to sum, and this value will come back again and get stored in this result variable, and then that value will be logged to the console. So now like you can see, I have not converted the variables into any number format, so they are just one is string and one is two. So let's see what output we get. So it is giving us as 10 and true. So if you have seen in yesterday's session, I told that if you are concatenating string with anything, it will convert the later part into a string and then it will add it. So if I want to convert both our inputs into a number, so I'll just put a unary operator and then it will get converted to a number. So let's make it string, and then we should have nan, I guess. So because we cannot convert a string into a number, So yep, so let's go ahead. This much basics about functions are, I guess, okay for now. How to define functions. So now we any just a minute. Okay, now is this much clear? Like, don't go into deep of this function. I'll clear everything up because there is more much advanced JavaScript left to study. I just want to make it basics for right now. Yep, yep. Okay, great. Just a minute, guys. Just okay. Now we can just move ahead with comparison and logical operators. Then we have conditional statements and loops. And by this, if I am going, like, am I going fast? Am I going slow? Can you just give me in the tell me in the chat? Is the speed correct, guys? Yep, yep, Chetan, don't worry. Arrow functions will also be taught. I don't want to give everything at once. You will get confused. Like, not you specifically. There are people who are coding for the first time. Okay. So yep. To go ahead. Mm, just a minute, guys. Let me have water. I guess now JavaScript looks easy to you guys. Now does JavaScript seem easy to you guys? The basics of JavaScript. Okay. So next up we have everything in the comments. I'm seeing arguments and everything we'll study later. When I want to explain when we are using it in example correct directly. That time I'll explain how we use and what is the and why it is required at that time. So now currently we'll study our what do we have next is yep, we have as per our schedule for today we have src is equal to script slash mm, comparison dot js. Now I don't have this file created. I'll just go and quickly create a file. Comparison.js function objects revision, and then we have comparison. Just let me close the other parts, and then comparison we will write console.log. I'll just objects is not completed, Saroj. We have just learned the basics. I want to show you how to iterate and everything later on when we like learn the loops and everything. Console.log, what are we doing is I'll just copy from here. Console.log, comparison and logical operators. So just let me write down what we are going to study. Now we have with us something called as you might have studied it already. We have greater than, then we have less than, then we have is equal to, then we have greater than equal to. Okay, just let me move the sequence. Then we have less than equal to, then we have double equal to, then we have triple equal to. Now this all come into comparison part, and for logical part we have and and which is denoted as double ampersand, and then there is or which is denoted as double what we can call this, there's something like a stick or a pipe, sorry, it is called as a pipe, which is available above the enter key in your keyboard. You have to just put shift and the button like backward slash forward slash on your keyboard, so you will get this pipe. So double pipes are also called as or. Yep, sorry, I just okay. Yep, thank you for correcting me. We have not equal to, then we have then we have, I'll explain you each and every possible thing. Like, first of all, let me make this clear that this might not be the whole JavaScript part I am explaining you. I am just trying to give you everything I know, like everything I've learned until now. So you might find something more apart from this on the internet. JavaScript is a very vast language, so I want to make this clear. So whatever I know, whatever I have learned, I am just trying to share everything with you guys. So like, is this bitwise is not needed as of now, so that's why I'm not covering it in the basics part. Like bitwise operator, as enjoyed told it, they also exist, but like they are not required as of now. Like if we require inside the coding part, I'll include it. So guys, do you want like, shall we have a break for 5 minutes and then we can continue fully with the logical operators, conditional and loops? Do you want a break for 5 minutes? Okay, just hold on. I'll be back in just 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. So hello everyone. Hello back. I just needed to have some water and freshen up, so I went away. So can we begin? Can we begin? Yeah, JavaScript includes switch case. We are coming to that part. Continue. We'll learn when we learn about while. Okay. So yep. Yes. Okay. So now we are at 3:33. Now I'll time the parts of this lesson I want to cover. So now we are on conditional statement. So by 3:50 or 4 o'clock we'll be done with this, and then loops I'll cover in next 15-20 minutes. So accordingly we'll do. 5 minutes not completed. Okay. So we'll just start with a basic first logical operator, that is greater than, and I am audible, right? Promises and catch statement, everything will be covered. Okay. So console.log, I am just writing is 5 greater than 6, and you can see it has already given me false. So I'm just giving you an example, a true example and a false example. That's how we'll go. And now if I do is 7 greater than 6, it is giving me true. I guess these are very basic things. Yep, that's why I've kept it for the last part. These four things are, I'm going to stress on this very much. So I need at least 10-15 minutes to explain you detail how it works with null, undefined and everything. So I'm just covering the basics very quickly, so that this is the greater symbol, and then you have console.log 5 less than 10. Now it is also going to evaluate as true, and then if you put 11 less than 10, it is going to evaluate false. Now if you have to check equal greater than or equal to, then you can use this operator. I'll just also write here greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Now if you observe, we have double equal to signs because a single equal to sign is used for assigning a value to the variable. It cannot be used to check if the values on both of the ends are equal or not. So you can just call it as equality for equality, or you to like equals, then if you have not equals, then you have strict equality. I'll just write what equals to check is just the value, but what strict equality checks is the type and value as well. And then this is not mm, the same thing but a negation of that part. So I guess this much is clear. So now we'll jump back to a coding part. Then we have console.log. We have 10 is greater than equal to 10 This is very basic example. To show you this, I have to take a variable right here. Let num is equal to 10. Okay, so now if I put something here, right? If I put 11, oh, sorry, wrong. I'm just putting num here. So if I am giving input as 10, so it is like the number passed here is equal to or greater than 10. So equal is satisfied here, so that's why the value comes as true. So if I put 9 here, it will evaluate to false because now it's not greater or equal to 10. So similarly, in the same way, we have uh, less than or equal to. Now you can see the difference. The 9 thing, if I put 9 here, it is still going to be true. Mm, left size minimize, yep, sorry. So I guess now it's clear. Ternary don't go up till now. Ternary I'll cover it. So I've just like we have covered these three things. Now equal to is like okay. So now as I said, equal to will just check that value. So even if I write 1 equal to something in a string, so it is still going to give me as true because it is not checking the type. Like even if I put, let's put it in an array, so now it's giving me as false. Okay, it is a string of array. So now if you see that I have given a number here and now inside I have passed it inside an array, but it is just checking the value. Like here also it is 1 and inside array also it is 1. So it is just telling me that the values are true. So that is one thing. It is just basic. So that is console.log. If I am writing like this is a boolean value, right? And then I am doing equality with, then we are doing equality as true. So what will happen if I run this? Equals are true, true statement or false statement condition. Yeah, we'll come to the statements later on. So now going to the strict equality. Now I'll just go ahead and do the strict equality part. Now once we have understand this, this will just take the value. And now if I want to, so now if I want to just go and check what is okay. So now if I do console.log 1, we are using the same example, 1 triple equal to 1. So just let's start with the double equal to first. Okay, console.log. Okay, I forgot commas everywhere, semicolons everywhere. So now you can see that as it is true, but as soon as I put a triple equal to operator, it becomes false. So now what it is checking is whether the value is same. Yes, it is same, and whether the type of the variable is same. Type of the value is same, like it is a number, but this is a string. So that is one thing. How we are using this going ahead, we'll come to know this ahead when we are using I like when I'll explain if else. So I'll be using strict equality to better explain this part, not equal to and everything. So even if I okay, the negation for this is now it becomes true. This is just a negation part. Like if you are evaluating whether this type and value is not equal to this type and value, you have to just remove one and just put negation. Where did the negation go? Yep. And now it will become to true. I'll just copy this whole line again below this and then I'll put negation part and then we'll go ahead. So this is one thing. Okay, so going ahead, I have to like tell you what is and or operators. So console.log will just see if 2 is greater than 3 and 1 is greater than 0. So now if you see that one is true and other is false. So not what and does is it requires both of these parts to be true to return a value as true. So if you want to see like, and hence it will return us value as false because one side, this side is false and this side is true. And for and to return true we need both of these to be true, but in case of or, even if one of those values is true, it will return us as true. So like in this case, in or operator we are like this is false but this is true, so it's either this part or either this part, so it will return the value as true. So yep, so these are the basics. Guess anything else? You can also assign this value, like if I want to like let val is equal to 5 greater than 2, and I will just console.log, and I just print val, it will just log the value. So that also you can do. Anything, I'll just take a few more doubts regarding this. Yes, you can do this code in browser also. I'm just writing, just look below, I'm just writing 5 is greater than 2 and just enter, I press enter, you can see the value as true. Can you? So one more thing I would like to tell is when you are using this operators, it converts the string part into a number part automatically. So that is one thing. Like when comparing values in JavaScript, it will convert the string part into numbers automatically. So for example, I am using console.log, and when I use 2 is greater than string of 3. Now you see it is giving me false, but as soon as I put it as 1, it is giving me true because it has internally converted this thing in a number format and then it is operating on that. So yep. Anything, uh, till now everything is clear, like whatever I have explained till now, let me know that that part is clear with you guys. Also if you can also just, I'll explain two more concepts and then I will take your doubts. uh, you can also check if the value of boolean, as you know, true equals to 1 and false equals to 0. So if I do true and check its value whether it's console.log, and if I log this, you will see that it is true, and if I put it 0, which is the value of false, it becomes false, and then I have to put false here. So this is one thing. You can also check booleans. Okay, go fast. So now if you want to compare strings, string comparison, so now the way it happens is there's a concept called as lexicographical something, I don't recollect properly, just google out once. This is the order which is followed. Now what this order means is like first it will take one character. Okay, just let me give you example also. This is one concept which is used, or the dictionary concept. Now I am using console.log and I am comparing, for example, ABC with ABCD. So now let's see the output once and I'll tell you false. Now what it has done is, just hold your doubts till the end guys, just let me explain this. Now what this lexicographical does is, first of all, it will compare the first letter with this first letter. Now this letter it will compare with this letter, and then this letter it will compare with this letter. Now when it has ended, then it will switch on to the length comparison. Now you can see that this has a greater, like this is having 4 as length and this is having 3 as length, and hence this is a greater value. But if I put something called as C and I put E here, so now this value is greater in alphabetical order, and now it will evaluate to true. So this is, as of now, I guess this much is clear. Now to the two topics, as I told you, comparison of null and comparison of undefined, and then we will stop with comparisons for now, and then I'll write console dot, just a minute. Okay, so console dot log, I'll write all the possible values which we use during null is greater than 0. Just copy it, just comment everything else. Just to make things clear. Yep, then you have console.log null is equal to 0, which is also false, and then just see here, I'm writing console.log is less than 0, it is also false. Then I'm writing console.log, like if you have understand this, I'll just keep it there. And now if I'm writing is equal to 0, now you will see that it has returned as true. So any idea why this happened? Why greater than or equal to 0 when compared to null made it true? Can you just tell me very quickly in the comments? Can you just tell me why we have got this output, the last statement as true and above all we have got false? Because it is showing null as 0 greater than 0 is false, equal to 0 is false. I have just explained the concept ahead, just wait a minute back, a very small concept. I explained it is in the beginning, so that is working right here. Null is not smaller than 0. How it then? Why it is giving it is false? No, no, that 00xx is when it is the type of null. It has object type. Null means nothing. No, no, every 0 is one value. Nope. It was a very simple. Okay, I'll just go back where I wrote this thing. Okay, I just explained you, right? So if you recollect at the beginning of this logical operators, sorry, comparison operators and this thing, I told you that this part greater than or equal to, convert whatever it is given into a number thing, right? So when we convert, let's check no what happens if I convert null into a number. Now you will understand the logic behind this. I am just putting, and I am just passing null inside it. So if you see in the log, you will see that we have, when we convert a null into a number type, it gives us value as 0. So now let's put this value up here for the explanation purpose. So I am just putting this 0, this 0, this 0, and this 0. Now this will explain you this will clear doubts. Is 0 greater than 0? It is false. Is 0 equal to 0? while it was null. Now here you have to, okay, just a minute. Now here it won't convert, because as I said, only this operators convert the given value into numbers, right? So like here it won't convert it into 0, else it would have also be true. So now here it is null, but null equal to is not equal to 0, because values are not equal. Now here we also converted null into 0 using this number part, but 0 is not smaller than 0. But in the last block, last code, the last line, you will see that 0 is greater than all equal or equal to 0, and hence we are getting this line as true. Is this concept clear to you guys? Why we got the last block of the last line as true, whereas other we got it as false? So just let me know if this is very much clear, then we'll move on to undefined. Like these are very basics and very small concepts, but this matter a lot when you are into programming and when you work on some projects. Okay, yes. Interview question maybe. Yep. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll run the same set of things with undefined. Okay. So I'll just, okay, one more thing, how you can select the same properties coming out, same variable names coming later in the statement lines, is just select that part and do control D. Now it will select all the similar things and I'll write undefined right here. So now what you can see is, now in this case everything is false. So just can you tell me why it is false? Uh, Archisman, I don't want to like speed up then, because if I speed up not everyone will understand. I want to make this short concepts very much clear in the beginning only. Mini project, you are not ready yet for the mini project, I'll say. So okay, so we'll do the same thing again. I'll try to convert the undefined into a number. We should get undefined as not a number. Yep. Now we have it as not a number, but when you will substitute this not a number in this place, then it is not satisfying any conditions, right? This not a number conversion will not satisfy any of this. So if I put, for example, if I put an here, just for the explanation purposes, this equal to doesn't convert it into a number, so I'm skipping that part. So now if you read these statements, nan is not greater than 0, nan is not less than 0, and nan is not greater than or equal to 0, so everything will evaluate to false, and hence this all statements are evaluating as false. So I guess this much is clear. Just let me know if this much is clear, guys. Now we can go to if else. I guess we are on track. I guess, yep, 4 o'clock I had to end with operators, the basic things. And I just want you to go and search something about that string comparisons. Okay, did I delete the string part? Yes, I did. Okay, I'll just quickly type. Did I delete it actually? Okay. There is something called as, let me Google it as well to be sure when I'm giving you notes. The spelling, it is lexicographical, and yep, lexicographic order. It's just, it's correct. It is lexicographic order. If you Google out, you will learn what it actually does. Okay, so this is one example. You can just type console.log abcd and abcde, and then you can try many variants like making capital small, capital small. Okay, so yep, comparison part is covered. Conditional part we are just going on to. We have to cover conditional parts in next 15 minutes. I'll make sure I'm making it very easy for you guys to explain, like it is just if, else if, and the chaining of if, else if, and if, and then we have ternary operators. Lexicographic, just Google out, it is just comparing one letter after another, then the length, if that is matching the length of the string, whichever is greater, it will return it as true. I'll just need the script tag again. Okay, it is not getting conditional files. I'll make a conditional files right here. Did I make a spelling mistake? Conditionals. Guess it's fine. Yep. So now what we are going to learn in this thing, first of all we are going to learn if, then else. Okay, it's not step only else, it is if else block, then there is if, else if, and if, sorry, and else, and then you have the ternary operator. So can we go ahead with this? Can you just put a yes? Can you go ahead with this? Just put a yes, like everything I explained till now, did you understand it? Just quickly type yes, so I'll move ahead. Okay, so now we'll just revisit some of the things we, okay, so don't comment fast. I don't want to go fast because and then I will get comments as go slow. Okay, great. So now we'll just revisit some of the things we did behind. I'll just take a store. We'll use the basic examples we use everywhere. Let age is equal to prompt. You know, as I have discussed earlier, it will take a value from the user. Enter your age. Now, if you read properly, I explained you that we have to supply a default value also. Now using this, I'll put a 0 and you can see by default value is 0. Okay, so now we'll do step by step. I'll tell you how whatever we have learned, how it is used. Now I'll just write the basic console log age. Okay, now if I am putting 22, now age, and I also need the type, of age. Mm, okay, so 52 currently, as you can see, it has returned us 52 in the format of a string. So now, okay, so I'll just write a basic if block. So how we write if block is, we'll write if. Okay, some snippets are not okay. So we have this snippet here. It will give me this if block. So this, I'll use this as a syntax to for you guys. And so now if you first will go by the syntax, that what if is all made up of. Now if block takes a condition which, if evaluates to true, it goes inside this block of code, and whatever you write inside this block of code is evaluated and executed. Why 0 in console? I have already given a default value. I have explained this in yesterday's session, the very beginning of yesterday's session. So this is the syntax. This condition has to evaluate to true, like whatever you give. Like if you give it negation, so it internally is false, but the condition is satisfied, right? Which means it is satisfied and it's true. The condition is true, not the statement you write inside it. So for example, if you are taking age, okay, I'll write if age equal to 18, just go and print console.log you are, just write you are an adult. So if I am writing something other than 18, it is just skipping this block of code, and if I am putting, I'll just reload this page. If I am putting something here as 18, now you can see that our if block is satisfied because the age variable. Now what happened behind the scene is, in age the value was stored as 18 but as a string. And as I discussed earlier, this equality operator does not check the type, but it only checks the value. So 18 is equal to 18, which evaluates to true, and hence your code comes inside this block. So what will happen if I just give one equal to and make it strict equality operator, and now if I put 18, so now you will see that the code doesn't come inside this if block, and this whole thing is skipped because then this evaluates to false. So a better practice, better practice to use while you are taking inputs, like if you are dealing with numbers, you can just convert this whole thing into a number, and then you can go ahead, and do this. And the easiest part I explained at the start is just put a plus sign here, which will convert the whole thing into a number. This is the unary conversion. You see the same output we are getting. So I'll just go with the number thing to keep it simple for you guys. And let me just stop this alerts. I hate them. So I'll just let age is equal to 18 right here. Okay, so now if I guess if else if is clear to you guys, now you will go to the if else block. Is this much clear? Just tell me if this is clear. If this is clear. Why the number entered is a string? So what happens is, this prompt, like you are, like some of you may have been from Python. So when you take the input from the user, it returns it as a string. in any language, when you are like taking something from user, even in C and everything, it returns is as a string and you have to convert it into a number to deal with numbers. Okay, great. So similarly, if you can, I don't if you I want to write something like this, if one is equal to console.log and type true. Now you can see that this one, if you remember, one equals to our boolean true. So that is how it is working, and it is evaluating to true. So now you see, if I am putting false, it will not evaluate this inside block of the code, because then it is becoming false, and the value to be satisfied is in another words, the statement should evaluate to true whatever expression you are giving inside this in this brackets. So this is another way you can deal with booleans to like go in do if. And now we'll switch to, I guess it is clear. Guess this is clear. Okay, so I am not using alert again and again, prompt again and again. Let age equal to, okay, we have defined age ahead as 18. Okay, so now what if you have to check like conditions, like for example, it is raining right now, so usually you go out somewhere, but there's like you will do something or else you will do that, like you will do this thing or else you will do that thing. So that condition part is known as if or else. So like if it is raining, I won't go out. If it is not raining, I'll go out. So in that case, we use if else block. So for example, I am writing if age is equal to 18, and then we start the blocks. Then we can write console.log is equal to you are adult, and then you can just write an else statement, console.log. I just need to change the expression, just a minute. I just realized it is not the proper way to explain you guys. Console.log, you are not an adult. Okay, let me correct my English also. Okay, okay. So now let's make this proper, like if age is greater than or equal to 18, right? If a person is greater than his age is greater than 18, then he is an adult. Else, now what is evaluated in else is if is uh, not greater than 18. So now if I am putting it as 18, now it is giving me as an adult. And then if I am, okay, I'll just change the value right here below, age equal to 17. So now you can see that the value in the console, like the output in the console has changed to you are not an adult. Because what happened is age came here, it is greater than or equal to 18. Nope, it has skipped this part. It has come into the second block and it is logged this part. So you can have multiple if else statement. Like if you want to check uh, a several group of ages, like for 18 I am putting here, you can also have multiple if else. So like keep this statement as different, and I'll write another if condition here. If age is equal to 25, console.log you are 25. So now what happens if I put 25 here? Just see. Now what you saw is what did it did was it took this age, it inserted it here, this evaluated to true. It executed this block of code, then it came down here, age is 25, it is satisfied. It also executed this block of code and it skipped this else block. Is this much clear? You can also use, as am seeing in the comments, you can also use that logical operators to have multiple things like and everything. So if you want me to do that, I'll have another variable up here, can vote. Let me take his example only, voter card, false, and I'll put and here, and voter card is equal to, let me take his example only. Where did it go? Age is less than equal to and voter card equal to false. Yep, and false. So yep, this is, as you saw that we have made it compulsory that both the statements should be satisfied, but it is not being satisfied. What happens if I put it true here? If you see that it is false, but we are checking for this to be true, and hence this block is skipped. So that is one thing, and you can use multiple if else. So I'll just go if age equal to 18, just using the same example to show you. Console.log, you have your age is 18. Just copy this thing, this inside thing, and now how you can write else if, to just write else if and give the condition age equal to 20, your age is 20, and you can give unlimited if and else statement, like many, but it will be a mess to remember. It will be, it's better than this, it's better than this. So now if you want to write the else statement, just whatever you want to execute, if above conditions are not satisfied, you can just write console.log hello. I'm just writing a dummy text. So it is not satisfying any of this condition, and hence this whole block is, like for example we have age as 20 right here. So now only this block is executed, this else if block. Now what happened is, just let me comment other stuff so it is easy for you guys. Okay, so we have age as 20. Now what will happen is age is equal to 18, it is not satisfied, so it will come to the next block. If age equal to 20, yes, then it will go inside this block and it will execute this line, and then it will skip this lines. But what if I don't give something as 30, which we have not evaluated it? So now it is just going to the else block and logging console.log hello. Yep. Okay, so we have Het Patel. I guess guys, I already made it clear. You might find better resources out there, but I have, like, whatever I have learned, I am sharing with you guys. Every detail whatever I know till date, I am telling you guys. So after if else, I'll just comment this also. So now about ternary operators. What are ternary operators? Ternary operators is like you are just writing if else statement, but you will write it in a single line. So I'll also explain you the syntax. I'll just comment everything I've written. So we have a blank slate again. Okay. So guys, today's session might be extended. Are you guys okay with that? might be extended because I want to explain you ternary and the loops as well, switch case. Are you okay if I extend the session by 15-20 minutes, like if it goes till 4:40 something? Then we can end it on those, because see, I want to complete this loops today itself, so tomorrow we can just focus on object oriented programming only. Okay, great. Thank you guys. So now we are on, okay guys, thank you. So we are on ternary operators. Okay, ternary operators, the syntax for ternary operator is, you have to write the condition, then you have to put this question mark, and then you have the, okay, I'll just remove, then you have value if true colon value if false. Now this is the syntax for ternary operator. I'll just explain you again. You have to give a condition and a question mark. It is like questioning this part of the statement. If it evaluates to true, this part of the statement is executed. If it evaluates to false, the last part of the statement is executed. So let's take an example. The same, I'll take let age again equal to 18. The same code we wrote above, I am just going to write the same code with the use of ternary operators. So I'll just write console.log, and we'll just ask it age greater than equal to 18, sorry, greater than equal to 18, then just print you are adult, else just print you are not an adult. Okay, now if I run this code, you will see that it is executing the same way we did with this if else block, and we have just done it just 2 lines. If I maximize it is just 1 line of code. So okay, let me just realign this. Okay, so this way you can also like chain multiple if else statement, like how we did if else. I'll just make it 17 and you are not an adult. So if you are using if else statement, it is very simple to chain if else statement into this ternary operator. I'll show you basic things. What you have to do is, let's store it in some variable. Let result is equal to, we'll ask age, uh, we'll do equal to 18 comma, sorry, question mark, you are 18. So now this is the true part. So now going on to the false part, we'll again have a condition here. Is this, like, are you getting this? Like, to make it simple, if you want, I'll also keep this in brackets, and I'll take it to next line and write it below here, and we'll have another age equal to 20, and then you have, just focus on this if else using the ternary, you are 20. Now again we are going inside one more block, and this is the else block, and I can just put you, your age is neither 18 or 20. Okay, Just a minute. I guess we have question mark here. It is 18. Okay. Like we have the value and console.log result. If I log the result, we have you are 18 right here. If I change the value to 20, I can see it works same as the if else block. It is 20. If I change it to some another number, it will go into this last block. So now what we have done is we have written the if else block using ternary operators. Is ternary operators clear, guys? Is ternary operator clear? Now I'll just go to okay. So now I'll go to switch case. Now the syntax for switch case is switch. Now the syntax for switch case is you have to write switch whatever you want to switch. I am going ask, and then you have to okay. Let me check the doubts. What if we do not? Okay. So you have to just put case whatever you are using. Like if I am checking for some value, I have to just give the value. Okay, and then I have to write whatever it is there. You are having any doubts till now? Just put it no down. I'll just go ahead. Okay. So you can just write your code below this and code here, and then you have to write a break statement. Why it is used, I'll explain. And like this you can write multiple parts, and at the end you have to write a default statement and the same thing. Just give case 1. Let me make the code proper. Yep. So this is the syntax. Guys, they are asking to go again ternary. It will get a long session. It's already like extended like something. So let's just go on. I'll just clear doubts tomorrow in the beginning. So for example, we have our age variable. Just comment this also and this also. Now we have let age is equal to 18. Now I will use the switch thing. Now you see the same syntax we have written here. Now I'll just put the values according to our syntax only. Like what I want to switch is age, and if the value is 18, I am taking the same examples to show you that how we are doing this thing, and I am writing console dot log you are 18, and then we are using break, and I'm writing case 20 console dot log. Okay, console.log UI18, and then I'll break, and let me just copy paste to, okay, now default it will be console.log. Okay, so now I'll just explain what happens here when you put, okay, any doubt? Okay, so when you put age as 18, it comes here, it operates, it executes a switch case on this, and when the value is 18, it will go inside this statement and it will run, and then it will break outside this switch case. So you might be asking, what does this break statement do? So let's delete this break statement from everywhere and see what it is going to do. So I'll just delete from everywhere and let's execute. Now you can see that all those statements have been executed, because what happened was it came here, it executed this and it went down. It did not get any command to break out of this switch case. So that's why we use the break statement. And also these are like type, it depends on the type. Like if I am giving 18 as a variable, sorry, string, so now your switch case won't work. Like if you are saying this is a number, this is a string, so it is, it depends, like you have to give a string or number, it should match your input what you want to check on. So let me make it this. Now you can also combine multiple cases, like case 21 I am giving. Okay, so this was 20 or 21. So now if I make it 21, it will come inside this loop only, and if I give 20, then also it will come inside this loop only. Okay, this is not required, I guess, just copy. So yep, now default is like if any of this statement is not satisfied, by default this block of code will run. So as you can see, like if I'm not, by I'm putting something called as 58, now this last block of code is running by default because this all cases are not being satisfied. So is this much clear? Is this much clear, guys? So let me just go and put the last script file for today. Loops. Assignment I will write and send it later, like around 6. You can submit it by tomorrow midnight. And I'll just, okay, what did I name it? Okay. Okay, I named it index.js. Okay, so now we have the loops. Type of loops we are going to study here is the basic ones: for, while, and do while. Let me just write the syntax for all the three quickly, then I'll explain you. So I'll make blocks for while. Just wait a minute guys, let me just make the syntax ready. I'll explain you each and every line I'm writing. Okay, you guys are telling let okay, you want to take the loops part tomorrow? Do you want me to continue with the loops part tomorrow? Just tell me in the chat, do you want me to deal with the loops part tomorrow quickly? Till then I'm writing the syntax, you just let me know. I okay sir, Sachin is telling okay sir, but fast. I don't want to take it fast. Then it doesn't make any sense. Like why even if I'm covering this topic if I'm going fast? Okay, so many people are saying tomorrow. Okay, so we'll continue with the loops part tomorrow, guys. So I guess you already guys are bored. Yep. I am taking the loops part tomorrow. I'll just delete it from today's file, and I'll try to cover in time tomorrow. I'll see like I'm not covering many things. Yep. Just remove it from today's agenda also. Yep. So do you okay just change timing to 2 p.m. 2 p.m. I'm not available guys. So just give me one review that do you want me to teach you in detail or just you want the basics and you will study the details by yourself. So accordingly I'll change my pace of teaching. Okay guys, assignment our moderators will put up by 6 p.m. in the community in the GitHub. I'll also upload the notes right now itself in the community. So just wait a minute. Like, do you just give me that answer? Like, do you want me to go in very detail, like every teaching every small concept, or just you want me to cover the basics and then we can move ahead? Because if I am going in detail, it's going to take time and maybe sessions. This is the reason the sessions are getting extended. Okay, great. So like you are asking me to do in detail. So yeah, I'll just convert this file to RAR file. Okay, so now guys, we have this community. If, like some people are new to this today's video, I'll just go to the community. It's visible clearly, and we have a JavaScript group here. I'll just post the file here. And I'll upload this file right here. So I'm just posting this in the group itself. So notes I have uploaded in the group and GitHub and everything. It will be uploaded by our moderators. So yep, This was all about today, guys. Just any doubts? Yeah, I've uploaded. Okay, you want in the zip format. Okay, I'll upload in both formats. Whichever format you like, you can download it. Okay, just a minute, guys. I'll just make some settings in the panel and I'll get. What all things would you till then? Can you just tell me what all things you would like to learn going forward apart from this basics and in DOM, in async JavaScript, in API calls and everything? We already have one Telegram group. Moderators, if you are there, can you just put the Telegram group links? Node.js, I am planning to take a small intro of Node.js at the end. If you guys don't get bored by that time, like how you can have a basic server setup in your node. Node.js making APIs, React.js regex, regular expression JSON Ajax. Ajax I'll be doing, we will be using fetch API, which is a modern thing. We'll be using that. So I have updated the rar file as well as the zip file in the community. So guys, can you like as always, can you hit the like if you have liked today's video and just give your feedbacks, like I can improvise accordingly in the comment section. Assignment, I am telling you, our moderators will upload and they will give you in the Rohini, can you just give the Telegram group of our specific JavaScript group? Okay, I'll just put it in the chat. Let me see if we have uploaded here. Guys, we are done with the today's session. So like those who want to leave can like leave. I'm just checking the links. Till then, mods, if you are having the links, please put it in the chat. Jason, I'll come to that part. Praveen is telling teach advanced concept. For advanced, you will first need to learn what is basics. So yep, it's already 4:41, 4 5 minutes more, and then we'll end with the session. Just I'm having a chit chat session with you guys right now. Let me know what all things you would like to learn from us. jQuery, jQuery, you want to learn? It's okay, but you can just have some framework in your up your sleeve instead of learning jQuery. Like small for small things, you can use jQuery. Please teach us to a level by which we can crack interview. For that, it is not possible in 7 days with everyday 2 hour session. Like I am seeing you guys are getting bored very, like in 2 hour session only you guys get bored. Okay, we have 241 likes. That's great. Thank you. Assignments are going to be based on like if else statements. operators, conditional operators, and some functions. I'll I'll like for last 2 days you were having very basic assignments, so I'll sit and make a proper assignments to test your knowledge, and then I'll give it to the moderators and then upload the same. How to link front end to back end? So you will need some server side language. Which one is better for job? React JS, Angular JS? It depends on the profile you are looking for. Like, and there's also, apart from this React and Angular, there is also Vue.js, which is currently booming, and it is very like easy. Like if you want to check Vue.js, you can just go and Google out. So yep, I'll teach. Will you teach REST API? Maybe, let's see. API calls, I am planning to teach it. Node or Deno? Currently Node. I am also working on Node. Deno is a great thing, but Node has a it has been there for like years right now. Telegram group is there. Just let me just put the links in the chat as well. Just hold on. Let me get the link. Mods, are you there? Just hold on, guys. I'll put link of the Telegram group as well. Okay, can someone just put the just a minute, guys. A TypeScript is superset of JavaScript. Like you can, if you want me to show, I'm just posting the links in the chat section. Yep, can we reach to 300 likes? 300, can we reach to 300, 350? Yep, you will be able to create projects after this course. That is the reason I am going in detail of each and every concept. For the person who was asking me how the TypeScript file works, let me just show you very quickly. Like it is out of topic, so others who don't want to learn, like it is okay if you don't focus on this. If I am having TypeScript file, yep. So here you have to just define the type of the variable you are using, like string. So it is like you are specifically saying that this variable will only hold uh, string values. So like here you can write let name, and then you can also put number, string, everything in that way. But when you are in TypeScript and we have specified it as string, you won't be able to put any other data type in that variable. So it is like a strict typing. Yep, all are saying teach this and that, but we are bored. That's the reason I'm taking your feedback, whether you want to learn as much as I can or just the basics, and then you can move ahead on topics and topics. Okay, guys, we can end the session. I guess I'll be just leaving in 5 minutes. JSON file you are not able to launch. Just a minute. If I am writing text.json, I have this JSON file here, guys. It should work. How to run on console? Vivek Singh, can you just reframe your question in detail? So let's just, okay, just a minute, guys. I have like we are done for today's session. I am just clearing the doubts. So yep, nothing else related to this JavaScript or it will be taught right now. I'm just clearing the common doubts of the students right now. What level will we learn and how much more do we need to do for becoming master in JS? So like it will never end, buddy. Like currently I can also say that I just only know 1% or 2% of JavaScript. Java tutorials are very coming up very soon. Let's Upgrade will launch Java course very soon. Console.trace. Okay, that day I actually forgot to mention console.trace. Console.trace, what it will do is you can put it with a function and it will tell where that function originated and how many times that function was called and on what line it was called. I'm not going to code any line of any code right now, so maybe tomorrow I can show you console.trace because many students have already left and I don't want to write. How to patent the emoji Akash Sawan, that is something okay, can just ignore. Okay, I'm just putting again the things. What are the basic knowledge required to better at JS? Just some like this basics of JavaScript, HTML, CSS. How the refresh works? Okay. See, I'll explain you. If you okay, let me take this doubt of Anukul Mule. Just observe here, like I have this extension called as live server. Okay, I'll just tell you. There is a extension called as live server. This is the extension. You have to just install it and then you will get a option to go live here. When you hit on go live, that will open the file. Okay, just let me, I was in the home directory, I guess. Yep. I have this index.html selected, and now if I go and start the live server, it will take me to that file and it is on hot reload. Multi-dimensional arrays are nothing. They are literally nothing. If you want me to just, I'll just put it in this. They are multi-dimensional arrays are just array of arrays. Like it is, for example, what we call them as, I am writing as matrix. Now I have this array. Okay, so now let's make this simple, guys. Just observe. I am just dividing it in this. Now this is one block. Now this is another block. And now this is another block. So now this is your array. For example, 1, 2, 3. I guess this is what you were referring to. Was this what you were asking? Swapna, was this what you were asking? Is your doubt cleared right now? I'll come to your doubt. Okay, one more doubt was that uh, how many methods are there in console? There are many methods. You can just explore. Replace all was not working. Okay. Okay. Replace all was not working. Okay. Just let's do it that in console only. Okay. Those students who have doubts, just wait behind. Others can leave. I'll just want to clear those doubt. Akash Sawant. I'm just writing. Just let me check. Replace all was not working. Replace all is not a function at. Okay, let's Google out this thing. Why you are. Okay, whose question was that? Whose question was that? Can you just tell me? Where was that question? Replace all. Okay, so I'll just also tell you how you can just learn. I'll just go see whatever functions you are not getting, just type them replace all, and the best place to refer the docs is the Mozilla Developer Network. I'll just let's like visit it together. Yeah, Tushar, let's visit this together and we'll read this. Here you can see you have an example right here. Okay, I guess it directly works on the text, not on the variable. Okay, let's do this in this window itself. So we have this example right in front of us, guys. Okay, I'll just clear this. Tushar, are you there? Okay. You can have this Telegram channel link. I am just posting it. Then as per them, you have to put dot and then you have replace all. Now this is weird if it doesn't work. Let's see. Because I have Mozilla Docs in front of me. Okay. Okay, I'll just get a better explanation on this because I'll just give you a better explanation later. I'll have to research as well because right here I am having that function, but it is not working in the console. Let's just try their example also. Okay, okay, let's. Okay, so now how to debug an error if you're getting. So I'll just copy this error as well, and we'll Google out the error as well. Like someone may have got the error. Okay, let's read what this error is all about. Okay, they have removed replace all, and now they have only replace. As far I'm getting it right here, there is no replace all, it was removed, and now they have this replace with regex. Yep. So we have 145 guys still here. So okay, this is all for today. Now tomorrow let's see what all topics we have. Conditional statements, then we have loops. Okay, just let me write down on the paper as well. We have conditional statements. Just can you just help me with the topics in the flow? Assignment will be uploaded by 6 p.m. Shivam. Reduce I will cover tomorrow. Filter for each loop. When I'm coming to loops, I'll cover for, while, do while, for each, for let, like when you want to iterate using the in keyword, how you can go on arrays and object using for loops, and then map, filter, reduce. Tomorrow I'll cover that. So yep, I guess yeah. Bye guys. That was all for today. Loops conditional we have already covered today. So tomorrow it will be mostly loops. The half session will be of loops and maybe half of object oriented programming. What are objects, classes, inheritance. Okay, bye guys. Let me put up the music for some time. Bye bye. Be safe. Have a good day. We'll meet you all tomorrow at the same time. Yeah, bye bye.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.